Hello, hello. All right, so Scorpios, welcome back, guys. Let's go ahead and jump on into a story, and we're just going to see where this one's going to take us, okay? We shall see, we shall see. We have got Six of Swords upright. We've got an Ace of Wands upright. We got the Nine of Pentacles upright. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I tried so hard not to cough, and I owed you guys this one last night and didn't get to it just because I was out of breath then, and forgive me, I got to pace myself differently. With the Six of Swords, it's moving on. It's moving on from trials and tribulations, but it's moving right into intense passion with a single individual. I almost wonder if this is not going to be a storyline where we have two people moving forward from complication, but then there's this opportunity to have all this passion, but it doesn't come with like the loss of personal autonomy. It's like we're still going to be single, but we can have this passion. But we're going to do things different this time. I feel like this is a reunion for two people who have had a heart to heart. Like Scorpio sat down with somebody and they said, I'm not mad at you anymore either. And I don't want us to have beef. And I really, honestly, I've missed you. Yep, I've missed you too. Okay, so let's go ahead and can we try dating again? And Scorpio might say, well, we can have passion. But I'm not going to say that I'm necessarily in a relationship right now because I still want to maintain being single. Okay. And this is making them very bummed out. So they thought that by virtue of getting Scorpio back together with them out of the, drama and out of the cold and back into smooth communication and possibly even, I don't know, maybe this is just them wanting to have passion with Scorpio. And Scorpio's like, no, I said we could be friends again. I'm not mad at you anymore, but I'm not dating you anymore. But I almost feel like Scorpio's willing to have passion, but Scorpio can't be locked down. It's like this person wants them to say, okay, and you're going to be with me. And Scorpio's like, oh, well, no, I don't actually want to say that we're together. That is bumming this person out hugely. See, I wonder if Scorpio has set the new parameters where they're like, we're not getting back what we used to have. Oh boy. We got Devil and we got the Sun. This feels like the only thing this person wants now is for Scorpio to be off the market, to not be single, to be theirs, to be with them. And instead, Scorpio is out here like riding around in the sunlight, happy as a clam, doing their own thing, not at all concerned about this. I wonder if, sorry, I'm going to put in a cough drop. I wonder if this person was once upon a time, if they were out kind of doing their own thing, and then now they want Scorpio to not have that level of freedom that they used to have. And Scorpio's like, no, I'm really happy with the way things are. We're not having beef. I still find you attractive, but I'm not going to say that I'm dating you. I'm still on the market, available if I meet somebody else. And I'm really happy. I think this is making them really unhappy. Six of Wands, Three of Wands. Scorpio feels amazing. Scorpio might have put something up that said, no, we can, we'll see how things go. Because this could talk about if in the future we are able to make this positive change and we can keep things moving smoothly, then maybe we could date again later. But I don't want to try dating again right now. It's too fresh. Let's just see if we can be friends, or let's just see if we can rebuild something without saying that we're in a relationship, because I'm definitely not ready, or I'm not ready to move back in, or I'm not ready. It's like they want to rush things, and Scorpio's not about to be rushed. Knight of Cups in the reverse. I think their impression is Scorpio doesn't really love me anymore then. Because they were sure that they were getting Scorpio back, hook, line, and sinker. Everything's going to be okay. You're coming back home. We're dating again. We're exclusive. Wait, what do you mean? Scorpio doesn't care to be exclusive. Scorpio's not putting me in the dating bracket at all. It would take time for them to feel that way about me. Whoa, this is not what I signed up for. So that must mean that Scorpio is so happy about all this also. So they're not in love with me. Okay. Now this person seems to want to talk. That, or they assumed Scorpio is talking with somebody else that they're not admitting to. I feel like they're wondering a whole heck of a lot. Why has Scorpio's attitude changed so dramatically? King of Cups. Is there somebody else? Is Scorpio in love with somebody else? Is there someone else on the horizon making them happy, making their life glow? Is there somebody that I don't know about that Scorpio's got in their world? 10 of Pentacles. This person is becoming more convinced all the time, that Scorpio is more perfect for them than ever before because Scorpio is now unattainable to a certain extent. And they're also convinced Scorpio must have the idea of someone else. So now I have to become that someone who they'll pick instead of that someone else. I feel like they're getting really convinced that there's got to be someone that Scorpio really wants or is already talking to. Magician in the reverse. Here's the thing. If they're thinking that Scorpio is with someone, I'm thinking Scorpio's lying about that. But in this story, we also see them saying, well, I can become the person that Scorpio wants. They want a perfect match and a King of Cups. If that's who they're, probably attracted to, then I'll be that, and we can have everything. I could be that person. This could also be them kind of lying to themselves about that. Because I don't know. There's a reason Scorpio said, oh, no, we're fine. I'm not having beef with you. Yes, we're good. Yes, I mean, you're still very attractive, but I'm single. Maybe we can see how things go as friends, and maybe we can rekindle something down the road. But for right now, I'm just really happy that we're not fighting. Really happy that, we're in a good place. But I am also really happy in my life, and I'm just living my best life right now. That is what is filling them with all of this, like, sudden impetus of, wait a minute, Scorpio isn't pining for me, hungry to get back with me. They're not behaving the way I want them to, basically. I think this totally sideswiped them. I think they thought everything was going to go back to normal. They were going to be in some kind of a connection with Scorpio. And for the first time ever, because Scorpio's not having any of it, they're facing the idea that Scorpio could end up with someone other than them unless they become the person Scorpio wants. But they still think that'll be really easy to do. And that is not true with that Magician in the reverse. Knight of Swords in the reverse. It certainly can't happen swiftly. If there are changes that they need to make to become a King of Cups, that's not going to happen like this. It just isn't. They've got a lot of growing to do, which is probably why Scorpio was like, no, I'm not just jumping back into a relationship with you. We can be something in each other's lives, but I'm considering myself single. We can see how things go over time. It's like basically in the softest of ways, without directly saying it, Scorpio was saying there's so many changes and maturation that would have to happen before we could be a good match. But I'm not mad at you. I don't think you're a terrible person. We can still be friends, but I'm not going to settle for less than what I want. I feel like Scorpio said that in a very soft way. For them, the fact that they can't have instant gratification and get what they want instantly, and they're not being honest about that, I feel like they just get really bummed out. Which again doesn't feel like it's super mature, because there's probably a reason, first off, that they were in separation from the Scorpio, then coming back into what they think is going to be an instant union, and it's a disappointment because it's not the union that they want, and it almost comes with conditions, even though I do not see Scorpio laying out like, here's a checklist of what you have to do to then be able to be with me. Scorpio's not doing that at all. they're simply remaining separate from this person, and that's just not what this person had wanted. Let me just see, what's the message for our Scorpio in all of this? We've got the Ace of Wands sideways, and we've got the Star card sideways. This kind of, to me, says, I don't think Scorpio can have real passion with them. Maybe they were fully expecting that. Maybe Scorpio was toying with the idea of that. But I don't see that being something that will work or that will contribute to the overall like healing or progress, is what this says. And it looks like Scorpio probably knows that. It almost feels like Scorpio's intentionally saying, I don't want passion with them unless this could be healed. Two of Swords is in the reverse. Three of Cups is upright. This almost seems like if Scorpio's really honest, they may want to, okay, they may really want to go ahead and call it quits on this because it already didn't work, but they want things to be ended on a nice note. But this person was assuming that they just instantly, if anything ends on a nice note, then they must be able to have full access to Scorpio again. And it just does not look like that's what Scorpio wants. And if that's the case, they might need to go ahead and, like actually put those boundaries out there and be like, truth of it is, I don't see us having a romance. That's not what I'm looking for. We've morphed into a different category. We're friends now. See, I think that they actually deep down already know that, but it still looks like they're disappointed. What's the message for them? Justice. Well, this says that they did something that kind of, their actions maybe were not very fair. They maybe didn't treat the Scorpio very well. And that's why the Scorpio subconsciously was like, I've seen traits that tell me that's not the person that I want to connect to. If they're not going to treat me right, not going to treat me fair, even if they didn't do it out of malice or something. But it feels like the Scorpio knows darn well. And so do they. Everybody here knows why the dynamics have changed for these two. And it's actually karmically correct that the Scorpio is not in a romance with them anymore. And they know this. They know that they did something that created an imbalance that would make this happen. See, Five of Pentacles is sideways. Strength card is sideways. I don't know if they dipped out at one point and said, oh, I don't think I want to do this. Maybe they left Scorpio high and dry at one point. They didn't really have the strength to stand beside Scorpio during a difficult time, but they know that there's a very valid reason why this isn't working for the two of them anymore. On one hand, I think it's mature of them to go ahead and acknowledge that. On the other hand, of course, it still sucks. Is there any chance for this union maybe way on down the road, right? Because sometimes, people meet when they're too young. They're not responsible enough yet. And then they pretty much lose the person, and then they try to get it back only to realize, wow, I really did mess this one up. And more time has to pass, and both characters have to go through another phase of evolution. So I just want to ask, is there a chance for them, like quite a bit later on down the road, maybe? Temperance, you know what? It almost seems like these two are going to find, they've already found a nice, peaceful connection, even if it's disappointing that it can't morph back into romance. But on down the road, it almost seems like these two are going to play a huge role in each other's lives. They might eventually evolve into like, wow, I'm so grateful to have you in my life. We do have an Empress. Usually the Empress is the person someone marries. We got Sag and we got Libra and Taurus there. Four of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. Down the road, I feel like these two are going to discover that they stay really, really, really good friends, that they respect each other tremendously. But in reality, they don't go back into love and romance. I think that they actually realize that that was always false. The idea that they could have romance. I don't think that these two were meant to have romance after all. They're meant to be really good friends. And I think that they don't realize it until they have hindsight that when we broke up and then said we'll be friends, and then this person still really wanted to do romance all those years ago, and now time passes and they realize that they are really good friends and they really like each other, support each other, put each other up on quite a pedestal. I think it's also where they're realizing, you know what, truth be told, we were always supposed to be this to each other. We were always supposed to be good friends and support each other in, you know, what we do in life. But it just doesn't look like, because this is holding back. This is that card of like running away and lies and such. But this is that new beginning, and realizing what they are to each other was very different than what they thought it was supposed to be at the beginning. The reason it didn't work for romance is because it was never going to be a romance. These two were meant to be friends in this lifetime and see each other through, you know, other relationships and remain good friends and stuff. So it's kind of a sweet story that this is what they end up getting. You know, we don't have villains here. We also don't have big devastating losses in love. We see a couple evolving from thinking that it was going to be hot-blooded romance to then realizing, actually, over the course of our lifespan, we continue to be in each other's lives, and we realize how valuable we are to one another, and that this was always supposed to be a really awesome friendship, and a really supportive one at that. I think these two really care about each other, but they find a way to be healthy in their interactions, which is, we aren't supposed to be romantic. We were supposed to be really, really good friends. And I think they managed that. That's nice. You don't usually get stories like that too often. And I really like how it changes over the years, and they recognize like what a valuable friendship this is. I feel like they're going to wind up seeing Scorpio get married and do things in their life. And I think they're really happy for Scorpio and vice versa. All right, I'm going to leave that one there. Thank you so much for being with me. If you do enjoy the channel, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. And I'm sorry that I'm still chewing on noisy little candy here, but it kept me from coughing. So bye, guys.